All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Joshua Dickey. I'll be reading from my book, A Patriot's Journey, Forging Hope. I'd like to start off today by reading a pretty interesting bit of advice, or a quote, as I put it. Okay, it says, live without pretending, love without depending, listen without defending, and speak without offending. And those are some pretty wise words. If I could do those things, I'd probably be a much happier person with a lot less stress, but because I can't, I have this facade of, men don't cry, and uh, so I'm living in this fictional world, I'm just pretending. But I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna start turning on more of the me. Just happy being me, and stop caring what other people think or what other people believe I am, and start believing in myself once again and the type of person I want to be: caring, considerate, helpful, loving, kind. Basically, all the traits that the military spent years beating out of me. All right, so, but with that being said, is internal battles, and that just happens to be the name of the very last poem of my book. That's volume 1. Currently working on volume 2. I'm going to be having it out September 11th. That one is not going to be like the first one. There's not going to be as many errors in it because I'm going to have my editor, which is my wife Tara, make sure that everything's spelled correctly, and I'm going to go through cadences and make sure it sounds good, and it's going to be a way better product. Just for the fact that I was so worried about the first one being perfect that I was not wanting to ever do it. And then finally I just said, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not perfect, so neither is the book. I'm going to release it how I am, all messed up and flawed. And so that's what I did. But with those flaws comes these internal battles that I'm currently waging war on, that I'm trying to get over, I'm trying to fix, and trying to just be the best person I could be. But I keep falling, but I keep getting back up, and I'm just going to keep doing my best. But here's the last poem. It says, I am cracking, I'm crumbling, ready to attack. What happened to everyone that gave they had my back? I'm causing my wife and family so much pain. Their teardrops are falling down like rain. I built a wall to hide my emotions, feelings. I realize now I'm hurting my chances of mentally healing. I used to think the only way out is with a gun, but truth is, by not giving up, you've already won. I don't want my wife to look at me in a certain way. That is the reason I mostly hide and bury stuff away. I know talking about things frees the soul. I'm sick and tired of being incomplete. I'm ready to be whole. I wish I could go back and change the past. Since I know I can't, I'll work on my future at last. I am only going to surround my life with peace and joy. I'll tell people how I really feel and not be coy. I wish others could see their own pain. Then maybe they would be better at training their brain. I am now filled with so much love and hope. I think it's time to get rid of this rope. A lot of internal struggles going on. Some people are suffering so much, they think the only way out is just to end it. And I gave 2 different examples how people do it. And one was my best friend, how he decided to do it. And not only did it break my heart, but it broke his families and everybody that knew him. Yeah, your pain goes away, but everybody else's pain is still there. And you just caused a different kind of pain for everybody else. Some even double the pain now because they had other issues, and now you just tacked onto it again. Now they don't have you to help them out. And The second one is, I'm not gonna bring it up again, but just by listening, you know what the other way is that some people do it. And it's said that people have to experience these traumatic events, and the people that love them or care about them don't understand that a lot of times they're just reacting out of anger or out of, they don't set and aside and say, I think I'm gonna hurt somebody today, at least verbally. And and that was my problem, is I didn't want to hurt my family, so I kept pushing them away. And in turn, they would want to come back even stronger. And I'd just be like, hey, I'm trying to help you help me. Yes, I understand. I know you love me and you want to help me, but I cannot mentally handle what is going on right now. I don't even know what's going on right now. The only emotions I'm feeling is rage, and it's just boiling through my whole body. And the only thing I can do is verbally push you away and hope that you understand that I'm not doing it to hurt you. I'm doing it to help stop you from being hurt. But that message wasn't perceived very loud and clear to my family. And so now I am going through and I'm trying to rebuild relationships that spent so long, or so they've been just tore down, because I couldn't convey to them even my thoughts. I couldn't just tell them, hey, listen, I just need to figure things out. I don't know what's going on. I'm living in this time where I'm seeing flashbacks of this, and I'm having nightmares every night. That's why I'm waking up drenched in sweat. That's why I'm not sleeping. That's why sometimes you see me just looking for stuff in the room and I don't even know I'm doing it. It's a confusing time for everybody, and I don't mean it to be. But I'm really trying my hardest to not have you a part of that chaos and confusion. And it's just emotionally taxing on your family. It's emotionally draining on them. And you don't feel the emotion because the only emotion you're feeling really is that primitive anger. It's either everything is fine or it's just you're just frustrated and you just can't think of what else is going on, and you don't really put any other emotion or attachment to anything else. It's just one or the other, and it's crazy, and I just don't understand it. It took me a long time to get used to it and try to work through it, and admit that I was having these types of problems, and because I was still afraid that it was a sign of weakness to, for one, have this type of problem with PTSD, and two, to be vulnerable, that, guys just aren't vulnerable. And so to be that, I was like, man, I'm just so weak. I can't have my wife see that I'm weak in more than one way. I'm weak this way. I'm weak that way. I'm weak this way. It's just like I'm just hurting all over, and I just can't get myself out of it. And I wanted to be isolated, and I wanted to just be away from everybody. And if I wasn't, then I was like in that fight or flight mode. But those are the internal battles that people are going to face. And I hope that if you're one of the loved ones or have loved ones that have PTSD, I hope you can understand that it's not personal. At least I hope it's not personal. I hope that you can understand a lot of times the reaction is just involuntary. I try to apologize every single time after I do something that I know hurts my family, and and then I always tell them, I'm like, man, I want to tell you I'm sorry every single time, but every time I tell you that, it feels like you're gonna say one time, why should I believe you this time? You've already told me you're sorry 100 times, so what makes today any different? And I don't want to be like, you're right. What does make today any different? And it's just a bad deal. So I hope you can, if you're the person that has PTSD or has some type of issue like that, that you continue fighting and trying to get the help you need and help you deserve through the VA or whoever else that you can go through. I hope you send me any questions, comments, or concerns. I'll be more than willing to answer some of the things that I've done, avenues or approaches that I've taken. I'm just thankful that I had such a great support structure. Even though I was pushing them away, my wife didn't want to leave. She was still right there, and still to this day, she's still right there, helping me through things, and still one of the biggest inspirations and reasons why I want to continually get better. Because not only do I deserve it personally, but my family deserves it as well. This was the last poem in Volume 1. So I will, I guess I'm going to take Friday off and have a break, and then I'm going to brainstorm some ideas. And Monday, I hopefully have maybe some topics or concerns. Tuesday, I'm teaching a class on the book, just a way of giving veterans around me a way of getting therapy without actually getting like the doctor therapy aspect of it. I appreciate all the support you all have given me. Hope you guys got something out of this book. Hope you learned and got inside the mind of a crazy man, and you weren't scared off by it, but rather it was enlightening for you guys. But thank you, and I hope you guys have a great night.